I am speaking to you now because I have seen what was written in the shadows. I saw the messages they deleted, the whispers they rehearsed, the promises they made to each other while smiling at you in the daylight. I saw the leaked chats before they ever leaked, because nothing is hidden from me. I watched the moment their words turned sharp and their hearts turned cold. And I tell you this so you do not unravel. Their plan is real, but it will not prevail. The snare is set, but I am the one who snaps traps in half. The nets they wove to entangle you will become the cords that restrain their own schemes. Breathe. Do not be afraid. Do not try to skip this. Hear me completely. You have felt the tremors for a while. A strange silence in familiar rooms. A smile that held its breath too long. A question that sounded like care but tasted like surveillance. You have been praying, half believing your own discernment, wondering if your mind was exaggerating the danger. You asked me for a sign, and I answered by lifting the lid. Now your eyes have seen their lines, their jokes, their strategies, the way they divided your name into pieces and passed it around like cheap currency. You weren't wrong. You weren't paranoid. You were protected. What you call leaked, I call light. I allow what is hidden to surface not to destroy you, but to deliver you from entanglement you could not see. I know the shock that wants to sprint through your body and smash everything fragile. I know the ache that says, how could they? I know the rage that wants to answer every sentence with a storm. But listen, your destiny is more important than your reaction, and your reaction is the doorway your destiny will use. The enemy wants you to answer fire with fire. I want you to answer fire with focus. The enemy wants you to confront with chaos. I want you to confront with clarity. Your first victory is not over them, it is over the impulse that insists you must do something reckless right now. You will not be guided by panic. You will be governed by purpose. Pause with me. Put your hand on your chest. Feel how I keep your heart beating. Feel how I never forgot you for a second. You are not alone in this room. You are not alone at this hour. I am here, and I am not leaving. You will not be shamed by their screenshots. You will not be cornered by their gossip. You will not be reduced to the lines they wrote about you. Let this truth enter you slowly. The conversation they had about you is smaller than the conversation I have been having over your life since you were born. The words they exchanged are thin paper. The word I speak is living fire. Paper burns. Fire cleanses. I have not changed my mind about you. I have not downgraded your calling. I have not cancelled your appointment with the future because two people sat together and wrote the opposite. The ink in their chat cannot edit my book. Your story remains under authorship that cannot be hacked. Do you hear me? Do not try to skip this. Deep breath. I will show you how to walk through this without losing yourself. This is the path. First, gather yourself. Second, gather the facts. Third, gather your boundaries. Fourth, gather your light. Gather yourself. Close every tab in your head that screams for you to perform, to prove, to fix their opinion. You are not their employee. You are not the defendant at their table. Stand up from their court and walk into my council. Gather the facts, look at the messages without embellishment, without fantasy, without the old wound trying to tell you it is all your fault. Facts are not your enemy. Facts, in my hand, are scalpel and map. They do not mutilate, they remove infection and point to exits. Gather your boundaries. When serpents slither into a garden, you do not burn the garden, you build a fence and remove the serpents. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to step back. You are allowed to protect the joy that I gave you. Gather your light, you will answer in a manner that makes darkness choke. Your light will not apologize for existing. Your light will not beg to be believed. Your light will be consistent, honest, and strong. There is a temptation pounding on the door to turn this into a theater, to call a crowd and perform a rage that feels like justice. But justice and theater seldom walk hand in hand. Justice walks with me. Justice knows timing. Justice knows how to bring truth to a table without flipping it in a room full of unready hearts. I will vindicate you, but I will do it in such a way that the lesson outlives the scandal. You are not a headline. You are a heritage. Let me be your press release. Let me be your witness. When the hour is right, I will position the evidence so even the reluctant will see. Until then, let my peace be your armor and let your silence be full of strategy, not fear. You have asked whether you should forgive. Listen carefully. Forgiveness is not permission for them to continue. It is permission for you to continue. Forgiveness releases your soul from the loop that replays betrayal until it manufactures a new identity. Forgiveness breaks that machine. But forgiveness without boundaries is a broken dam. You will forgive and you will build. You will forgive and you will step back. You will forgive and you will require honesty if they seek return. Do not confuse mercy with amnesia. Do not confuse grace with the absence of growth. I can make your heart soft and your spine unbreakable at the same time. Some of the words in those chats were crafted to wound you in your most tender place, the part of you that still doubts your worth when the room grows quiet. They guessed that if they could poke that ache, you would shrink. But watch what I do, I will turn the same wound into a well. Every place they tried to belittle you will become a doorway for strength you did not know you had. Every accusation will become a rehearsal for your answer to a higher calling. I am not telling you pain will evaporate in a minute. I am telling you pain will fail to define you. It will not have the last sentence. It will not be the architect of your future. You will not spend the next years explaining this moment to everyone you meet. You will spend the next years becoming the person I always saw in you. I know you want to ask me if those two will face consequences. Let me be plain, consequence is the teacher no one can bribe. The harvest comes. Not because you demand it, but because I built the world with seasons. Do not waste your breath wishing for their winter, spend your breath speaking life into your spring. The consequence that reforms them is not your responsibility to stage. Your responsibility is to remain available to your purpose. When you do, your dignity becomes an argument that cannot be refuted. Keep your hands clean. Keep your diary honest. Keep your days aligned. They will see, sooner than they think, that they played themselves when they tried to play you. Do not try to skip this, your heart needs the next words like rain. I call you chosen not because you are flawless but because you are faithful. I call you strong not because you never tremble but because you keep walking while you do. I call you wise not because you always knew, but because when you learn, you implement. You will not become the villain of your own story by answering treachery with treachery. You will become the proof that character is not a costume. The pressure that arrived to break you will reveal the steel of your soul. Your kindness will not be naivete, it will be authority. Your discernment will not be paranoia, it will be stewardship. Your boundaries will not be bitterness, they will be wisdom in a world that sells its gates for applause. There is an assignment on your life that intimidated them. It is easier to sabotage what you envy than to admit you are called to grow. They saw your growth as a threat instead of an invitation. But your growth is not a scarce resource. Your light does not dim theirs unless they prefer the dark. Walk tall. Do not hunch to make someone else comfortable with their smallness. If they choose to repent, it is their path to walk. If they choose to retreat into lies, it is their pit to maintain. Either way, your focus is forward. I will send new allies, the kind who do not clap for you in public and cut you in private, the kind who do not name drop you for status and block you for control, the kind whose yes means yes and whose no means no. Watch me arrange the table. I prepare a table for you in the presence of confusion, not as a boast, but as a sign. I feed those I love. I sustain those I send. Your next steps will be simple, not sensational. Save what must be saved. Write what must be written. Speak only what must be spoken. Replace impulsive replies with intentional records. Ask yourself, does this action build my future or just vent my present? Then choose the future even when the present begs for a performance. If a conversation is required, you will have it with a witness, with calm, with clarity, with the facts, with the truth, and with the courage to end an arrangement that no longer honors the peace I give you. If silence is required, you will wear it like armor, not like a gag. If distance is required, you will step back without dragging chains of guilt. Your worth is not measured by your proximity to those who refuse to value you. I am touching the part of you that feels foolish for trusting. Hear me, trust is not your flaw, their betrayal is. Do not crown their failure as your identity. The purity you brought to the relationship is not wasted, it returns to you as insight, as compassion, as refined discernment. You are graduating, not failing. The test was hard because the promotion is high. And though your tears have wet your pillow, they have not washed away your purpose. I collected each one. I know the weight and the chemistry of every sorrow you carry. I will convert them into strength the way trees convert light. What you thought was the end of your confidence will become the beginning of your wisdom, and your wisdom will protect you like a shield you no longer have to explain. Listen again, do not try to skip this. This is the hour to reclaim your voice in the language of peace. Speak to yourself as I speak to you. Say, I am not the rumor, I am the redemption. I am not the mistake, I am the lesson learned. I am not the abandoned, I am the accompanied. I am not the disqualified, I am the developed. And when the old narratives arrive like couriers carrying yesterday's mail, refuse the delivery. You have moved to a new address. Your new address is called clarity. Your new address is called courage. Your new address is called covenant, with me, not with their convenience. Do not be surprised if, after exposure, they attempt to rewrite the script, to call it a misunderstanding, to blame the leak, to minimize the plan, to spin your pain into their public relations. Stand still within your truth. You don't need to stage a counter's how. Remember who I am. I do not need applause to be God, and you do not need applause to be aligned. Let your consistency do the talking. Let your peace be the loudest word in the room. People eventually recognize the difference between someone who is steady and someone who is strategic only when eyes are watching. Time is an honest friend when you walk with me. I also know the part of you that wants me to close every door around them, to make them feel what you felt. But if I granted every request of your anger, I would have to deny several requests of your compassion. You have asked me to make you a person of grace. Grace is not permission to harm you. Grace is power to become whole while others are still deciding who they want to be. I will not let them trample you. I will also not let this turn you into someone you are not. You will be strong without becoming stone. You will be wise without becoming suspicious of every good thing. You will be pure without becoming naive. You will be generous without feeding wolves. I will teach you the difference. Walk with me and you will learn. Now hear the promise that rides on the other side of this exposure. I am shifting your circle, sharpening your sight, and strengthening your steps. New opportunities will arrive not because you pretended nothing happened, but because you chose integrity while everything in you wanted to explode. The rooms I am opening require a steward who can protect sacred things. This is why you were tested. Power without restraint destroys gardens. Power with restraint multiplies them. You have been faithful with little. Watch me make you ruler over more. Not just more platform, but more peace. Not just more influence, but more inner calm. Not just more resources, but more rootedness. The promotion I am giving you is not only visible, it is structural. It happens inside you first, and then the world adjusts. Do not try to skip this final instruction for now. Bless your day on purpose. Walk slowly into it. Drink water. Eat something that honors your body. Put on clothes that remind your posture who it is serving. Make 2 lists, what is yours to carry, and what is mine. Write their names on neither list, write your boundaries on the first and your outcomes on the second. Outcomes belong to me. Boundaries belong to you. Where our lists meet, miracles happen with less noise than you think. Send one message if you must, let it be simple and exact. Accept no meetings that require you to shrink. Answer no invitations that dress manipulation as urgency. Keep your heart a sanctuary, not a stage. I am with you in the details they did not know, in the timeline they did not control, in the doors they could not see. I am with you when you rest and when you rise, when you grieve and when you laugh again, because you will laugh again, and it will be the kind that fills a room and makes old shadows realize they lost. I honor the tenderness that made you trust. I honor the courage that will help you choose again. I honor the calling that will carry you beyond this page of your life. Lift your chin. Take your keys. Step into the day I wrote for you. Let the leaked chats be what they are, evidence that darkness fears what you are becoming. And let your life be what I say it is, a letter of light, signed by love, delivered on time. Do not try to skip this. Put your hand over your heart again. Say this with me, not as a spell, but as agreement with truth. I am safe in the one who sees. I am guided in the one who knows. I am unshaken in the one who stays. I am advancing under favor that does not fluctuate with gossip. I am guarded by wisdom that does not collapse under pressure. I am crowned with peace that is not for sale. I forgive, I learn, I build, I shine. I walk away from traps. I walk into purpose. I remain who I am and I become who I'm called to be. And as you say it, feel the floor steady under your feet. The tremor passes. The ground holds. I am the ground that holds. I saw what they planned. I broke what they planned. I am building you. Walk with me and you will watch every unholy script unravel, every honest path illuminate, every necessary ally appear. This is not the end of your trust, it is the upgrade of your discernment. This is not the end of your love, it is the refinement of your circle. This is not the end of your dream, it is the clearing of your runway. Breathe. You are not late. You are right on time for the version of you that cannot be managed by manipulation. Go in the quiet strength I place on you now. Keep your eyes on me, your steps aligned, your words measured, your hope alive. I will finish what I started. I am with you, and I am not leaving. I am near to you in this moment, closer than your breath, whispering to the part of you that has been aching for answers, the part that wakes in the night sensing a disturbance you could not name. Hear me, this message is for you, and it is timely. Do not try to skip this. Do not hush the tremor in your spirit. I am the one who sees in secret, and I have watched the hidden rooms where words were traded like sharp knives, where two familiar voices turned from friendship into a plot, where loyalty was measured and then betrayed. What you suspected but could not prove has been exposed, and you stand at the doorway of a decision that will define the landscape of your next season. You are not powerless here. You are not alone here. I am with you to steady your hand, to guard your heart, and to lead you through a valley that only looks like shadow, because I have lit a path in front of you that they cannot touch. You wonder why this had to happen now, why the curtain was pulled back so suddenly, why the messages you were never meant to read found their way into the light. Know this, I timed this exposure not to destroy you, but to deliver you from a net that was set while you were doing nothing but trying to love, trying to help, trying to build. The leaked chats are not your shame, they are your shield. They are not a wound for your identity, they are a window for your wisdom. I let you see what you needed to see so you would not tie your future to people who were quietly tying knots around your name. Do not call it a curse when I call it a rescue. Do not call it the end when I call it the beginning of your protection. Breathe. Feel your shoulders relax under my hand. The words they wrote about you were small, but you are not small. The ridicule they laughed at was loud, but it does not speak louder than my affirmation over you. Their plan was to pull you into a corner, to blur your clarity with confusion, to make you doubt your worth so you would accept less than the fullness I prepared. But you were never built to live cornered. Even in the days when you settled for crumbs because you were tired of the fight, I kept a table for you. Even in the moments when you thought, maybe they are right about me, I kept a book of remembrance that carries the truth of who you are when the doors are closed and no one is applauding. I have seen your kindness that cost you sleep. I have watched you give what you could not afford to lose. I remember the quiet yes you told me, many years ago, when no one else was listening. I have never taken my eyes off that yes. Do not try to skip this. Stay with me in the slow, honest air of this moment. What you feel is grief intertwined with revelation. Let the grief breathe. Let the revelation stand. Some ties must be gently laid down, not because you hate, but because you love your calling more than you love the comfort of familiar faces. I am not asking you to become bitter. I am not asking you to return word for word, wound for wound. I am asking you to rise with a steadiness that confuses those who traded their integrity for temporary advantages. Your steadiness will not be silent, it will be sacred. Your boundaries will not be barbed wire, they will be bright lines painted by wisdom and kept by peace. I am cleansing the circle around you. This is not punishment, it is pruning. Pruning looks like loss to those who do not understand growth. You will watch certain branches fall away, and part of you will want to chase them, to tape them back on, to pretend nothing changed. But you cannot nourish what has chosen to feed on your light while starving your joy. Release them to the distance they secretly chose. You are not rejecting people, you are responding to truth. And truth is a friend to those who want to be whole. Listen, there is one who played both sides, the one who smiled at you while forwarding your trust like a message they could spend. I see your wish to confront them loudly and end the game by force. But your victory will not be through spectacle. Your victory will be through structure, through the quiet restructuring of access, through the careful rearranging of who is allowed inside the plans that carry your name. Switch your locks, from doors, from devices, from routines, and from patterns. Change your passwords, yes, but also change your patterns of over-explaining yourself to hearts that only use your words as material for manipulation. You do not owe anyone the fuel to burn you. You owe me your calm obedience, and I will handle the parts you cannot see. The leaked chats are a mirror I am holding up, not to shame you, but to show you the muscles you built while you thought you were breaking. You learned how to endure. Now you will learn how to enforce. You learned how to forgive. Now you will learn how to foresee. You learned how to keep walking through ridicule. Now you will learn how to choose companions who are allergic to jealousy and fluent in celebration. The next steps will feel small, but they will be holy. Start with this: write what you know and leave what you suspect. Document the facts without raging about the shadows. I will bring witnesses in time, but for now I want your mouth to be a place where healing can live. You asked me, why did you let me sit at tables with people who spoke against me when I left? I answer you like this: I let you sit there because I was strengthening your discernment. I let you hear their laughter in another room because I was teaching your spirit to detect counterfeit warmth. You were not foolish for giving them opportunities. You were faithful. They were the ones who chose to weaponize your generosity. That is not your stain to carry. Set it down at my feet. I know how to separate hearts from habits, and I know how to separate you from harm without turning you to stone. Do you feel the shaking subsiding? That is me settling your nerves. That is me speaking to your adrenal storms and telling them to be still. You are not going back to the version of yourself who apologized for needing protection. From this day, you will bless your boundaries like you bless your breakthroughs. You will honor your capacity as much as you honor your compassion. You will say no without auditioning for approval. And as you step into this clarity, watch how swiftly I send the kind of people you longed for, the ones who do not panic at your power, who do not resent your favor, who do not cut your name to fit their insecurity. Now, about the plan they formed. It will not prosper. I am not asking you to pretend they never tried. I am telling you that their attempt will be converted into testimony. You will look back and say, if that had not been exposed, would have walked into a room that had already decided my end. I will not allow that. I have an appointment for you in places you once thought were closed forever, and I am training your soul for those rooms now. The people who enter with you will be few in number but deep in character. Your future is not crowded, it is curated.